Baker and Coakley in November to see who gets to move into the corner office here on Beacon Hill come January. For Charlie Baker, it's his second try at the state's top job, while Martha Coakley has her own past setbacks to rebound from.
Thank you.
Woo! Do you see a tight race between Coakley and Baker?
I think it may be at first, but I think people will pull away. I think people will really see what's going on and go with Baker, and they'll win by quite a bit.
I think Coakley is a stronger candidate.
Coakley will probably step up to the plate and do what she has to do.
Of the two, I'd rather see Baker, though I'm not a Baker supporter.
Who gets the nod?
I'll do Coakley.
Do you think it might be time for one of those pendulum shifts on Beacon Hill?
Yes.
You said hopefully.
Yes.
I don't think so.
No.
I think Democrats will win again. It's a Democratic state.
Both candidates have a second chance, so to speak, with the voters, and I think it's going to be a great race.
You get knocked down, and both of them are getting right back up again and going to give it their best shot.
Yeah, that is the thing. When you get knocked, it's not getting knocked down, it's getting back up. That's the story. So much to talk about in the next 6 weeks, and of course in the next couple of minutes. First, OTR's political analyst this morning, Democrat Marianne Marks is with us, and Republican Jennifer Nestor is with us as well. Ladies, thank you for joining us.
So very quickly, how do you see the starting line on this race? Marianne, Coakley won the nomination by only 5–6%. Isn't she limping into this fight?
Fair or not, she didn't meet expectations, largely due to very bad public polling. She's got to do two things very quickly. Get the Grossman voters on board, who indicated they may not be in a lot of that polling, and also to reassure Democratic voters who think it's Groundhog Day with her performance, that they may be going down the 2010 path again. She's got to ensure a confidence in them. She's doing that, and if she does that, then she only needs to get 16 to 20 points of unenrolled voters to win, period.
Is she a wounded soldier?
Absolutely. It was a nasty, divisive primary, number one. It was a laughable unity breakfast. More than half of the Democratic voters showed that they wanted someone else other than Coakley. And polls are showing that 40% of Grossman voters will actually vote for Charlie Baker.
You know, it's funny. I remember what Bill Parcells once told me. He said that we don't award style points in this league. If you win by 1 point, it doesn't matter. If does it really matter?
Well, here's the reality. Don Berwick got more votes on Tuesday night than Charlie Baker. So that's where they're starting from, and I like those odds.
I want to talk about Baker's acceptance speech, if I can. And if you just get into the speech itself, it was heavily, universally reviewed as weak and unimpressive. Those are not my words, those are other words that were used. Does it need, Jennifer, what does he need to rev up that after a sleepy primary?
So I don't think, first of all, I completely disagree with whoever said that it wasn't an exciting speech. I think he was laying out his vision, his positive vision for Massachusetts, and he was saying that Martha Coakley doesn't have any new ideas, except for raising taxes, and that all she had to do was go out and hit him with negative ads. He shows up the day after the primary with this beautiful commercial with his 17-year-old daughter, and I thought that that was the way to start out the general election, very positive.
Did you think his speech was all that impressive?
I think the Charlie Baker we all know, we still have not seen on the campaign trail. Charlie Baker needs to be the happy warrior, and he seems to be struggling to find that gear between anger and enthusiasm. If and when he finds it, I'm personally very surprised he has not yet, he'll be a very tough candidate. But that hasn't happened yet.
You heard Seth Moulton this morning. How do you see his chances against Republican Richard Tussey?
Well, I think him winning that primary was a vote against tyranny. It wasn't a vote for Seth Moulton. I think that he has a long way to go before he has any name recognition. Richard Tussey has $800,000 in the bank. He's knocked on 50,000 doors. People know who Richard Tussey is. And we can't forget that Scott Brown won that district by 8 points against Elizabeth Warren just 2 years ago.
How do you think Moulton's going to do against Tussey?
Seth Moulton is the next congressman from the 6th District. Period. End of sentence. Save this tape. Because they want a Democrat in Congress, and they always voted for tyranny because they wanted to keep a Democrat in Congress. Once those voters had a choice of Democrats, they picked Seth Moulton, and they're going to do it again because they wanted a fresh start and a fresh face. He's both. Richard Tussey is not. And that's exactly what this campaign is going to be about. He's going to win this hands down easy.
Ready to go.
But at the end of the day, Congress is still in control, in the Republican control. Massachusetts does not have a Republican in Congress, and we need someone who's in Congress, who's a Republican, who could come back and be able to take care of Massachusetts.
If that's your best shot, you're done. Massachusetts doesn't want a Republican.
My best shot is Richard Tussey.
Yeah, well,
speaks
it's not going to happen.
Speaking of fresh faces, Maura Healey was, I just said don't award style points, but another big surprise. Not that she won, I'm not saying that, but she won by 24 points. What does it say, Marianne, about the strength of unions and political campaigns, considering Tolman and John Tierney, the other big union candidates, both lost?
Unions took a huge hit on Tuesday, except SEIU that did deliver for Coakley. The only people who took a bigger hit are Deval Patrick and Marty Walsh. The Deval Patrick of 8 years ago was Maura Healey and would have endorsed her. The Marty Walsh who ran for mayor would have endorsed Maura Healey. And they and many other elected officials didn't endorse her and endorsed Tolman because his brother's the head of the AFL-CIO. So you should never endorse for those reasons, but the fact is now with that win, everyone needs Maura Healey more than she needs anybody else. Huge win.
Jennifer, how do you read it?
You know, I'm with Marianne, and I think it shows that newspaper endorsements and union endorsements mean nothing, and it shows that union employees are going to go out and they're going to vote how they want to vote despite how they're told to vote.
We continue on the record. Stay with us.